What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my dark horse friends and family? Here we are coming at you. Another live episode here in the Facebook group, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And I want to build off of yesterday's episode 177, where Gabe Helgeta, yeah, he was the drummer from I Prevail. Actually, he still is the drummer of I Prevail. But he came on and he shared so many amazing just nuggets of information. But one of the things I came away with, I wanted to share with you today, was about the fact that he created a safe space, in his case, for drummers of all skill levels when he created Drum Beats Online, which is his membership site where drummers and wannabe drummers, yeah, like me, right, they can come together and they can share and they can learn from each other as well as from Gabe. And it's just this safe space where everyone's encouraging one another. Everyone's rooting each other on, like, dude, let's go do this. Well, why would you want to create a safe space for your clients and your prospects, right? You're not even committed to these folks yet, right? They're still checking you out, and maybe you're committed to them, right? You're committed to be bringing value. But I think one of the whys about why you want to create this safe space is, from my experience, right? These environments, they start becoming supportive and collaborative, and those are the places where we all can learn and thrive. I mean, think about it. If you were ever in an environment that you didn't think was, I'm sorry, let me roll my screen up here a little bit. I want to keep up with I have a couple of bullet point notes on here. I'm just being transparent. I got myself some notes. I don't forget to share the goodness with you. But if you've ever been in an environment that consisted of, I don't know, problems, how did that impact your focus? Yeah, right? If you're in an environment where your ideas were like poo-pooed or pishad, how did you feel, right? And if you were ever in an environment where maybe you made a mistake, right? You stumbled, you bumbled, you fell, you face planted, and they were like, all they talked about is, that time that you did this and that time that you did that. How did you feel? Right? So it's all about creating this environment where, yeah, we're going to make mistakes, right? Your ideas are important. I want to hear what you have to say. You want to build this supportive environment so that you can hear these ideas, you can exchange these ideas, you can be heard, they can be heard. It's this two-way street. And if they're your prospects, you certainly want to hear their information. You want to trust them as much as you want them to trust you, right? You want to empower them with their voice, right? As much as you want them to empower you with your voice. And the best way to do that is by building trust. So if you create this safe space, right, you can build this foundation of trust. This is one of the core ingredients, right? And to do that, you're going to have respect and open communication. Just share. And when new people step into your space, they're going to be maybe a little standoffish. It depends on their personality. Maybe a hold back. I just want to see them, dip my toe in, test the waters a little bit, bring them out. You know, one of the things that if we talk about Facebook groups for a moment, one of the cool things that Facebook gives you is this tool. It says, hey, welcome the new members, and they throw all the names of new members into a post for you so you don't have to manually type them. Well, that's a great opportunity to ask a couple of questions that will bring them out of their shell, right? And that leads right into this next tip I wanted to leave you with, is feedback and communication. Hey, welcome to the group. Tell us what you do. What is your superpower? What is your passion? What are your hobby? Whatever question you want to bring out of them to get them engaged, to encourage them to communicate, right? And to get others to communicate with them, to get their feedback, ask their questions, share a tidbit of your information. What do you think about that, right? Whatever it is. And when you open up these lines of communication, when you build this foundation of trust through respect and communication and feedback and encouragement, growth opportunities rear their pretty heads. And not ugly heads. It's a pretty head, right? Right and left and up and down. People will go, you know what? I thought about this and I think you might be the perfect person for that. And it might be not be you directly, even though it's your group. Maybe it's someone else and you're the connector of these two people and they have this growth opportunity between the two of them. Here's the cool thing. You are the result of that. Your community, what it is that you built. Maybe you don't get the rewards financially directly as a result of that relationship, but guess what? They connect you with that connection, so you do get the rewards. Now, some of the things you're going to want to remember when it comes to building this community of support and openness is don't blame. Just don't. Don't do this. I remember back in my basic training days when I joined the military, all the drill sergeants would point at you like this. Right? Their fingers would be like this because you know the old adage with this finger's pointing at you, there are three pointing back. Well, they relieved that by doing this. But here's the thing. We're human, right? We stumble, we bumble, we fall, we face plant. We just make stupid choices sometimes. And maybe it was a choice where it seemed like the right choice in the moment with the knowledge we had then. And we're going now, boy, if I knew what I know now, I would have never done that. Okay, well, now you know. Would you still do it? Okay, well, don't blame. Don't do you this, you that. Engage, chat with them. Become educated in how they got there and what led them to making the choice that they made there, And that, again, that comes back around full circle to those open lines of communication. Now they feel like, oh, okay, I can come in here and I can share without fear, of being, people raining down on you with the black rain of blame. And encourage ideas. Okay. Some of the best ideas don't come from my head. They've come from, we'll call it a chain of ideas I've heard shared. Like, Joe will share this and Jane will share that. And, Mary will share this and John will share that. And all of a sudden, as I'm absorbing all these ideas, I take a piece of this one, I take a piece of that one, I take a piece of this one, I take a piece of that one, and add into it my experience and my knowledge. And I come up with a whole new idea. And if you don't encourage other people to share their ideas, you're actually stifling your own creativity. So encourage people to share their information, to share their ideas, not to steal them, mind you, right? I don't want you out there, ooh, that's a great idea. I'm going to steal that and I'm going to implement it before they get a chance to. No. That's not supportive. That's not working together. But encourage the ideas so that you can learn. And you can help them learn, because perhaps they come up with this great idea and you're like, that's a great idea. However, here's what I've seen, X, Y, Z. So you might want to take that idea and modify it just a little bit so you don't have all those problems I've seen other people have. And they're like, oh, thank you so much, because that's exactly what I was going to do. And they would have stumbled, bumbled, fallen, faceplant. And maybe it's your experience. You can say, well, that's a great idea. I had a very similar idea yesterday, last month, last year, and here's what I learned from implementing that so that now you are 3 steps ahead. And they'll be like, oh, thank you, right? It's amazing, right? Now, inside the environment you want to build, there'll be some guidelines, there'll be some rules you'll want to set, right? There'll be some, okay, here are the things we're going to make sure we do, right? Let's use a Facebook group, for example. No spamming, right? We've all been to that group where we're like, all we see is these self-promotion emails and posts day after day after day, and you're like, I'm out of here. No. Maybe that's one of your rules. Or maybe you say, if I think about an example, my man Sid and his partner in life, Tiffany, they've created this amazing group. A couple thousand success-oriented entrepreneurs are in there, and they don't allow the spam, except on Fridays you can, do a little self-promotion. Well, there you go. Now there's the best of both worlds. People respect that through the other 6 days of the weeks, and they just get the content, and they share, and they chat with each other, and they build ideas, and they encourage each other, and they root each other on, and give advice. And then on Friday, they're allowed to self-promote. What a great idea. And I think about another example, Coach Corey. He has this amazing 30-day live challenge that he does. And, through the 30-day live challenge, you're engaging with each other, but it's not about the self-promotion, although he does build a couple of opportunities in there. So you feel like, hey, I still get the opportunity to share what it is I do and quote unquote pitch myself slightly, but I have to wait for this day and that day, right? So there's that balance. I know you want to come in here and do this, so I'm going to let you do it on this time and that time. So now they're like, okay, professional people, good folks will come in there and they'll share their value, and then on those days they'll promote themselves. So hopefully they can build their opportunities as well. To do all of this, you're going to have to make a little time, right? I think one of the things I found when I started this group, and I say this group because we're doing this live in the Facebook group, is it takes some time to do that, right? You got to grab some moments, and you got to come in here and do lives or come in here and add content, which is why I figured I would start doing the live broadcasts of the podcast. That way I could take that content and repurpose it, put it out in a podcast format, and also enable me to engage the audience here in the Dark Horse Tribe Facebook group so that I can get the questions out of them. They're like, well, okay, this is boring content, Tracy. I don't like it, so I'll stop doing it. Or I'll find something that really resonates with them, and I'll do more of that, right? So you want to listen to the audience, but that takes a little time. And then a couple more notes in here, tips I want to give you is give praise. I think you should give praise out like candy, not empty, shallow. Oh, that was awesome. No, no, no. Give true how you feel praise. If you think someone did a great damn job at a presentation or with an idea or whatever it is you saw or heard, let them know, right? Just reach out to them. Say, dude, I think that was a great idea. That's simple. It doesn't have to be all shower them with, it doesn't have to be any of that. I can't even think of the words, right? But if you go to them and just say, that was awesome. I didn't think about it that way. I'm glad you said that. Reach out one-on-one, drop into their DMs, whatever. If they shared the information in a post and you saw it, comment in the post. That will help promote other people to share their praise as well. And now you can feel good about getting other people to engage and show them, that you're not the only one that thinks like that other people think this is great content as well. Start it. If you think it's awesome, even if you think it's just okay or really good, it's not super awesome, but you're like, that was pretty cool. Share it. It takes a couple seconds out of your day. There we go. Shared. Big send on its way, right? And then if you're further along in your journey than someone else in the group, this does not have to be in your group, by the way. This can be in groups that you partake in, right? Is to coach and mentor. Share some information, really. And I'm talking about someone asks a question or they look for some information. Get in there and just, I don't care, it doesn't have to be, war and peace, but really answer the question. Someone asks you a question like, well, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. What do you think of that? Well, don't just say podcasts are great, because they are, and it's easy to start a podcast because it is, really get in there and say, well, and then drop in your commentary about the answer. In this case, the example I'm giving about podcasting, and write a paragraph. There you go. Or write a half a paragraph and say, hey, I'd be happy to share more information. If you want to know more, shoot me a DM, and or really keep the conversation going inside that group and share your value. Here's the cool thing about that. When you share that level of value, you really, really answer a question, not just a yes or no, or yeah, I've tried that, but really give a good, solid, I'll use the phrase educated answer. People are like, well, wait a minute. I'm paying attention to this person. Maybe they go check out your profile. Maybe they check out some of the other things that are in your profile. They look at other posts that you've made. And now you've almost elevated your status, quote unquote, your status, right? And that gives you the opportunity to coach and mentor them. And I'm not talking about bringing them into your coaching program if you have one. I'm just talking about give them some coaching advice, give them some mentoring advice, share some of your knowledge and your skills with them to bring them up. Right when the sea rises, all boats up. All boats rise at the same time. Wow, that was a great way to say it. I just brutalized that particular phrase, but you get what I mean, right? And then as you're going along, I think the last two things I want to leave you with here is communicate why. Right? Why is it important to have this supportive community? Why are you doing it? Why do you want to be a part of a supportive community? What's the plan? How is this going to happen? And when you share that, like I'm doing right now in my particular group, you're helping everyone else understand where you're coming from. And if they don't jive with that, just jump out of the group. That's right. Cool. Bye. All right. That's not what I'm here for. And you don't vibe with that. I have no hard feelings if you leave the group. Bye. Right? I wish you well. I only want people, and you would only want people in your group, in your sphere of influence, that resonate with you. And if what you're saying doesn't vibe with them, cool. Wish them well. Hopefully they'll, heck, help them find a group you think will help them, right? Because at the end, and this is the last tip, at the end of the day, you will be leading by example. And that's the greatest thing you'll ever be able to do for your group, for your tribe, for your audience, for your clients, and for your prospects, is by building a community that's safe for them to express and learn and thrive by leading by example. So if you come in there and you do things hairy-carry, stupid, silly, dumbass, right? Well, guess what? The other folks in your group can do the same thing, or they're just going to bail because they don't resonate with that. But if you come in and you're supportive, you're giving of some time, and you're sharing praise, and you're sharing the content, and you're letting them know their ideas are valuable, and you enjoy communicating with them, and you want to hear their information, and that you'll make time for them, guess what? They're going to come in, they're like, I love this place. I'm going to tell my friends about this place. We're going to come on in here, and you're going to build this community that just works. And then, yeah, of course, you're going to, every once in a while, you're going to come in and say, oh, by the way, I have this amazing program I want you to check out, or this product getting ready to come out. You want to check it out? That's okay. They won't mind. It's your community, and they'll be backing you up 100%, right? Because you've taken the time. You've shown you care. You're not blaming them. You're encouraging their ideas. You're giving them the praise, and you're sharing that coaching and that mentoring. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want, right? We all want to learn from each other. We all want to be the best we can be. All right, so tomorrow we're going to be talking about how not to just hone, but to improve your skill set. All right? With that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action. Peace.